Well, hello, everyone. Happy holidays and welcome to our Subconscious Speaks. My name's Don Robert, and this is the amazing, talented, award winning,
Tina Orlando.
and together we are,
Tina Orlando.
and Dawn.
She's so funny.
Yeah. Tina and I
Happy
hopped
holidays.
on, huh?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Yeah. I was going to say we hopped on early and started talking, and um, well, first, hi, Flash. Let me first say hello to the Hypno Cat. Recognize the talent, Don. uh, but something really cool started. It's always been here, but I think if you've still been watching and listening to the episodes, you've noticed that it's turned into more of a conversational flow between us without specific bullet points we're going to hit. And I'll take the blame for that. I like a little bit of structure in my life, but I also like to wing it. And so it feels like we're getting closer to being our authentic selves, and how the podcast was born, which was hey, what do you want to talk about today? Oh, I don't know, we could talk about this. We're like, how about we just start talking and see what happens?
See what happens.
Yeah.
See where
Flash
we
is
go.
ready. Look at him. Look at that sweet boy.
He is the sweetest cat
Yeah.
ever on the face of
He's
the
got it
planet.
rough. He's big yawn. He just must have had a
Yeah,
nap and he's getting ready for part two.
that's all he does is nap.
Yeah.
He's the sweetest cat.
Right on.
Um,
So if you're new to the channel, Tina and I are both award-winning, top of our class graduates, award-winning graduates from HMI, Hypnosis Motivation Institute, located here in Tarzana, California. No, they are not a sponsor yet. George will sponsor you at one point, Don. We became friends, God, almost 5 years ago. I was doing the math.
Mm.
And have just been helping people and each other. I love this woman. I consider her one of my closest friends, even though she got sick and couldn't come to my birthday party. It still hurts because my sister was so, I think my sister was more excited to meet you than me because,
Oh,
of course I talk about you all the time. So they're like,
yeah.
okay, is she
But
real
does she
or
see me now? Like, does she watch?
yes, yes, of
Okay, hi,
course,
friend.
of course. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. It's
Yeah.
it's that time of year.
It's that time of year to just kind of like acquiesce to the essence of what everybody's trying to do, which is like happy holidays, even though maybe you had a crappy year. It's like,
It's yeah. The holidays is it's a double-edged sword, right?
yeah,
I mean, it
I'm
really is.
feeling a different edge of the sword this year for sure. How about you? You're just generally speaking?
Generally speaking, I think the holidays are a double-edged sword. Like you're supposed to celebrate and have all these things, but there's a lot of people that don't. And maybe you're missing things in your life that, you know, you want or think that you need or should have um or there's people missing out of your life,
Mm,
and that's, and it is the number one time a year for people to feel really down, even if they do have everything they want, because there is something that they might be missing.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
can relate. What
Mm-hmm.
the first thing that comes to mind when you say that is people, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's significant people I miss. Some are past and some are
Mm-hmm.
alive, but I'm missing them all today. And
Right.
I have to give a shout out to my cousin. I have two amazing. I mean, I have a lot of big. I have a cousin that has a big family, so I have second cousins and third cousins, and but my cousin Vicky, who is my first cousin and her firstborn, the matriarch of the children is Bridget, and they have sent me birthday cards every year. They keep sent. I got a Christmas card. They sent me a congratulations card for when I announced going back to HMI. Like they're just so
That's sweet.
supportive, and I just love them so much. So shout out to the Bumpus family, and thank you so much. I love you.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, and
That's
Georgina
very
still sends me a card. I don't know if Georgina listens every week, but She's been
I
a
mean,
good
people
friend.
still send cards. I
People
mean,
still
wow,
send cards. Yeah, my
wow.
sister's sending cards this year. I'm on a Christmas card. Sorry if you didn't get one. I didn't do great
I
on.
won't be offended,
I
Fran.
had to apparently give my sister a list of names and addresses, which is who has addresses anymore?
I don't know, but now I'm upset because Fran didn't send me one. That's fine.
She doesn't have your address. I think I have it in our contacts. I mean, I know how to get to your place because,
You used to live
I'm
around the
from
corner.
that hood, but yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm teasing.
I
I'm
know.
teasing. Um, yeah, I mean, it's the holidays are they're rough. They're rough. They can be good, and they are good for a lot of
Mhm.
people, but there's not anybody, I don't think, that isn't missing somebody on in Christmas time or Hanukkah or whatever.
Right.
Even if you take the position of, you know, you're okay with them being not in your daily life. Let's say somebody's passed, you've reconciled with that. You're still going to miss that person, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that everybody thinks that they need to be super uber like Christmas go, like that crazy lady from the Grinch with all the Christmas spirit. And I think that's what everybody thinks you have to be. And I just don't agree with that. You can just be where you are, and that's okay.
I don't disagree. Being where you are can be a little lonely, a little sad, a little like, and is it quite possible that we think that's not good? Like that we judge that we're sad and feeling alone and like I mean there's actions you can take, right? You're only as alone as you make yourself, I believe, right? But because we talked about this before in other episodes about getting out,
Hmm.
going places, doing things like,
Hmm.
you know, not
Hmm. Yeah, but wherever
isolating.
you go, there you are. I mean,
Wait,
sometimes you're just
what?
wherever you go, there you are. Like,
Yeah, of
that's the
course.
thing. I think though that some people get shamed for being sad.
Well, I think what other people's sadness does for people that are in the spirit is it feels like they're going to get dragged down, so they try to pull you up instead of just allowing people to be where they're at, Um,
Hmm.
imagine that. Just a little love and
Imagine,
acceptance. How about that?
yeah, imagine
Yeah.
that somebody, allow you to just be where you are and be okay with it. Because that actually is more comforting than trying to make somebody else be in your weird world of, it has to be happy. I don't think so. I don't think so. If somebody's sad, they're sad, no matter what you do. If they're
Yeah.
missing somebody, they're missing somebody. If they're feeling down because it's the holidays, I mean,
So isn't there though on the other side of that isn't I think that it's totally acceptable to um, offer love and support to somebody that's down, right?
absolutely.
By no means am I expecting you to come up to my level of excitement just because I'm all hypered out in the moment, right? Whatever.
Hmm.
Um, but I think there's a big difference between kind of letting somebody have their feelings and then supporting them and loving them versus like you're uncomfortable with somebody else's sadness, so then you're gonna elicit some sort of joy out of them, you know?
Well, that's it, right? Like you're uncomfortable with somebody else's sadness. Why do you think that might be?
Well,
Maybe because your happiness really isn't authentic. You're putting on
maybe
that
there's some
facade.
identification happening. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe some of you is just a mask and that cracks, your mask. I mean,
It's
Freud, I mean, Jung and Freud would agree that it would
yeah,
definitely be the mask issue.
definitely the mask. There's also like I think that the people that are uncomfortable with other people's sadness are worried that they'll catch it. no, but I mean like
Mm.
energetically kind of like, yeah, I miss mom and dad too. And then the next thing you know, everybody's crying over missing mom and dad, as
Well, maybe
opposed
that's what
to
needs to happen, though.
maybe, maybe, but who's in charge of deciding that? What
Well, I think
individual?
that's,
What? Yeah.
I think it's collective, right? Like when if you're missing somebody and, you're missing mom and dad, and somebody else wants to pull you out of that to serve them
Yeah, so
because
that's
they're uncomfortable,
that's the delineation right there, to serve them because they're uncomfortable with you not being, fa la la la
what they
la,
are, what they
right?
are, right? I don't think you can catch sadness though. I think that you can feel compassion, and it might provoke feelings in you that need to be expressed or vented out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's why a lot of people that are sad kind of isolate on the holidays. They don't want to ruin your time. They know they're sad.
Right.
And that in itself is sad. Like,
Yeah.
since when did we become where's the rule that you have to be la 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 at Christmas time?
Well,
You
apparently you do not have commercial television running in your house.
That's correct. But I do know what's going on.
Yeah,
I
no,
am
I
here
know.
on planet Earth.
Yeah.
I just, I think that there is this thing where everybody feels like they need to be, what were those people, the Who's on in the
The
Grinch?
Whoville, yeah, Whoville.
Whoville
Yeah. I'm
people.
watching that
Like,
tonight. You've totally like I was wondering what because I have
hey,
actually
hey.
taken action to get into the Christmas mode today. And
Yeah.
I'll talk about that in a moment. But I was thinking like, all right, which holiday show am I gonna watch? And I think
I
it's
mean, it's the Grinch. I
I mean,
mean,
it's on the rotation, of course, but I
mm-hmm,
haven't watched any yet. And there's a couple of Netflix cuties that I'm gonna watch. Like,
mm-hmm.
you know what I did watch? Total like sidebar. Aaron Rodgers. There's a three
Uh-huh.
episode show on Aaron Rodgers on Netflix. I watched it all last night. It was so incredible. Like
Why?
it shared a lot of his story and his healing journey outside of football, and
Mm,
the death of the ego gets mentioned several
mm-hmm,
times. And you talk about two sides of a coin. This guy's like the leader of an elite group of athletes. Like
mm-hmm.
he's in charge, right? The leader of them all, but yet he's got his own inner demons that he's struggling with and finding his way with. It was just really beautiful. And he talks
You
about
mean people have
ceremony.
inner, you mean people have inner demons? No.
Yeah, it was just really, I don't know if you saw it while you're cruising through Netflix. It's worth a watch.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Inner
I think you would
demons
very much
ceremony.
enjoy it. There's several parts of each of the episodes where he's out of the country on a journey.
Mm,
And
good for him.
maybe
Yeah.
there's yeah, I think one of the episodes is even called ayahuasca. So yeah,
Good for him.
it's really and what's interesting is bearing witness to what the media portrayed that he was going through during all of this. It talks about him saying that he was inoculated when he was asked if he got
Yeah.
the vaccine, and that was a big deal. The public outcry that he was lying to them
Oh,
because he didn't say no, I didn't get vaccinated with the COVID shot. He went to a holistic doctor and had a different kind of inoculation done. It was just, I think you're going to find it super interesting.
okay. I'll
Yeah,
check it out. I'll
yeah.
check it out.
Um,
Right after I watch, The Grinch, hate, hate, hate,
hey, hey,
double
hey.
hate, loathe entirely.
But the Grinch cracks. He cracks under Lucy Liu's love.
Well, yes, but that's
Love
right. But
is
that
the
little
answer.
girl was innocently offering compassion.
Yes, not
She
trying to
wasn't
shift
trying to
him because
drag
of
him.
how
She loved
he
him
was affecting
just
her. Yeah.
the way he was. And I think that is something that a lot of people don't do.
So you're saying that we could use the Grinch as an excellent example of how to be with others that maybe are a little
Grinchy?
Grinchy. Yeah, I have
Hmm.
air quotes up for those of you on Spotify and Apple. Grinchy.
Grinchy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it
Yeah.
is the season to be a little grinchy sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, it is
Maybe
a lot,
grumpy is
right?
better. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word is. Maybe emotional, a little bit. Yeah.
I
What would
mean,
you
there's
call
a
it?
lot of,
Hmm?
I mean, there's a lot going on, right? Between Grumpy and Grinch. And, you know, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. Like you want to celebrate Christmas and be happy and do all those things, but there might be a part of you that isn't wanting that. And that's okay, don't you think?
I do. I think you can also have both. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
it's
no,
a
but
double-edged
yeah,
sword.
so if I'm listening with ears of not knowing you, it could sound like you're saying it's okay to just be grumpy through the holidays, like pure
I mean, it really, if that's what you want to do, you
monotone
can.
grump.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying be grumpy through the holidays. There's always something to be grateful for, and what you do have, and that is most important. Um, but you still have to honor the things that might be sad. That's what I'm saying. Give yourself the opportunity to honor both sides. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Interesting you say that, because as I think about, honoring both sides and yeah, I set my intentions to take some action today. I bought like Juliet's coming home on Monday, so she'll be here for Christmas. And I was like, you wouldn't know that it's anywhere as close to Christmas at my house. And so I decided to take a little action. I still don't know if I'm going to do a tree. It just seems such a waste to buy a tree for a week. It's just, but it's the pageantry of the lighting of it and I'm waiting for her to get home to see but she's going to be so jet lagged. God, she's been living in Europe or not Europe, in Spain for, well, that's Europe technically, right?
Hmm.
For like 3 months,
Nice,
her first semester of her senior year at UCSB. Yeah.
nice.
So I'm just excited to be able to spend time with her.
Hmm.
The rest of it is just, the memories pop up and the not only the memories that you've posted on, social media are popping up, but then you've got your own personal attachment to this time of the year for a multitude of reasons. I mean, God, if I go back to my childhood, there's some really rough memories in there, along with all the magic, right?
Right.
There's definitely a yin and yang, a light and a dark to it all. Um,
That's what I'm saying.
and I'm saying that like without deciding to take action, because the name of the show is The Subconscious Speaks, right? Our subconscious runs the show, as we know. So we've got all
Hmm.
these known associations down there about Christmas. We got
Hmm.
plus and negatives and pluses
Lots
and
of them.
then we do have the ability to exercise the 12%, as Dr. Kappa says, or Joe Dispenza would say 5%. Don would
5%.
say 10, right? I round up. I meet him in the middle almost. And I say, that 10% still matters. So you can still exercise your will and make
Absolutely.
decisions to do something about how you feel if you
Yeah.
want to.
Yes. I mean, you
I
can focus
wanted to.
solely on the positive, but honestly, without in honoring the things that maybe the people that you might be missing, that's not a negative, really,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe that doesn't bring you like happy, happy, joy type of feelings. Maybe it just brings you a moment of um just having respect for, you know, people that have come before you, or, it doesn't have to be super, it's not sad and it's not happy. It's this feeling of, acknowledgement of,
Connectivity is the word that I
well,
was thinking of that.
yeah, I mean, you can't ignore your past. You can't, because it is part of who you are, right?
Yeah.
These people are a part of the reason why you are who you are today. And maybe when things are tough and at this time of year, you want to focus, on some of that in a negative sense. But if you're taking action and flip it as you were grateful to have the experience with them, might be one way through. Maybe you honor them by doing something that they would have loved or whatever. Especially if you're missing people this time of year.
Yeah.
And it is a time of year where people generally miss people that have passed in their lives,
Yep.
especially if it's family. So,
Yeah. So I was honoring my inner dad,
mm,
and I got new lights, new little hanging hooks, and like put new kind of icing lights around my garage so that when Juliet comes over, they'll be on. And they're so cool now. You can put them on a timer. It's like you don't even have to plug like the harangue of plugging them in and unplugging them all the time is just, it's gone. So I'm pretty proud of that. Um, and then tomorrow I'm gonna actually decorate the house. I have a bunch
oh,
of
look at you.
cool decorations that I got over the last several years to create my own kind of. My sister's really good at this because my mom was, right? So my mom's
Mm,
the interior decorator of all that is, the holidays and Christmas, and we celebrate Christmas. And so my sister, of course, took that to another level,
right, of course.
which I love. It's a little tedious putting it all up and then pulling it all down, but like, well, but that's okay. It's just
Mm,
time. Who cares? You
yeah,
know, it's one less
yeah.
show you watch. And I put on Christmas music too.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, so I invoked my senses. I was having an emotional connection to the activity with dad, and then I was invoking my sense of hearing, and I was doing some general, like, and I was on my own, so that felt good to allow whatever was happening in the moment. The only thing that came up was like I could I was thinking my neighbors were like December 21st, just putting up lights there, neighbor.
Yeah.
Like I have lights up, but I don't like them. I wanted to get new ones, and anyway. Yeah, silly.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. You got to do whatever it is you got to do. I'm just saying that there's no one way to do something, and it's okay because there are people
yeah. You
that,
got to figure out what
you
works
know,
for you.
yeah, yeah, and it's okay. You don't have to be, the Whoville.
Of
You
course
don't
not.
have to be. Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could just be okay.
Now, I'm going to push the envelope here. What if you're stuck? Is it okay to ask for help to get unstuck?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, um, I mean, you think that, um, well, you're not the only one. First of all, I would bet there's a lot of people that pretend to be really happy during Christmas time that aren't very happy.
Is that part of the fake it till you make it, or is that just so they can wear their mask and try
Both.
and evoke happiness through
Well, I mean, you fake it until you make it, especially when you know. Like that might be one way through for you. Like I just need to, suck it up, Buttercup, and
power
go
on?
through, power through.
Put
It's
the
gonna be
damn
fine.
decorations up.
Put them up. It's gonna be
Watch the damn
okay.
movies.
Absolutely. And there's some people that can't fake it, right? And they're just
Hmm.
too far down. Um, and those people are the ones that I think really suffer because they are shamed because they're not in that holiday spirit. But, you know, what if, I mean, I years ago there was this stupid commercial. It broke my heart every time I saw it. Little old man lives in an apartment and it's for a lottery ticket, and his neighbor comes and puts the lottery ticket on his door and leaves it there, and then he opens the door and sees it, and she's peeking through the door just to see if he saw it. She was just trying to make her neighbor happy. It's a very sweet commercial, but she wasn't expecting him to jump for joy. She just wanted to make him smile.
It's an act of kindness that has no selfish motive behind it other
Right,
than to
right,
share joy. Imagine that.
right.
How about that?
Well, that's what I think. That's where I'm really going, is that when there's nothing in it for you, that's when it's kindness. When you're trying to pull somebody up because it makes you feel better, or bring somebody out of their sadness because it bothers you, that's about you,
Yeah.
you know.
There's definitely, and this goes beyond just the holidays, right? With the selfish
It just,
intention of how
mm,
we treat and speak to others, based on what's our intention? Where are we coming from? Is it about me so that I can feel better about the situation to get you to XYZ, or am
hmm
I just offering kindness? Like,
right.
my home's open.
Uh, Well, right,
Somebody wants to come over and talk, I'm here.
right. You know,
I'm way out here in Ventura,
I
but
mean, I'll sit
I'm
in the
here.
dirt with you. It's fine. Like, I'll sit in the dirt with you. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, but really, absolutely. Um, you know, there's something to be said for being okay, not being okay, don't you think?
I think it's um I think it's
Because where
super,
else do you start from?
or that was rhetorical.
Who's both? Sorry. Who's
You were
both?
saying,
I'm sorry. Who's both? Like, where do you start from? You know what I mean? Like, when you're down that far, where else do you start from but the bottom, right? So if you're okay there, you can come up from there, right? Like,
I mean, you start where you are, regardless of what you have to kind of name the bottom, right? It
right,
is where you are in the moment.
right, right.
Um, yeah.
I
And
think that's
then
what I was trying to say.
if there's a genuine urge, desire, and hope to shift out of it, then that's where you either I have to invoke my senses, and I have to lean on my people and my circle, and you know, but to the point that we've been talking about in the past, there's a certain level of like, I'm really okay with being on my own. I am missing both my children this year. Both my parents are gone, like still, missing my brother and sister this year. Like, yeah. So this is the
But you've
first.
seen them a lot this year
Yeah, but
in a
that was
lot of wonderful
way early.
ways.
That was, yeah, yeah, but it's the holidays. It's a different time, right? That's a those 2 months when I spent in Florida going to hockey games is an incredible experience that we all got to share, but it's different than this. This
That's my
holiday
point.
vibe is totally different.
That is my point. The holiday vibe changes it,
Yeah,
right?
because there's a
Because
deep
if it was a
attachment.
Tuesday in, February, would we be talking about it like this? No.
I mean, I do. I call my siblings, and because I miss them, and if I miss somebody, I reach out to them to say hello, because that's my intuitive voice saying connect.
hmm
Not just my siblings, but that is
hmm
something that I do like about social media, is I get to see my friends
Right. Right.
that I don't live anywhere as close to anymore. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to start somewhere, right? And, the holiday vibe is, it's a little harder. It's a little more intense because there's things that you're missing, significant things.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, you have to start somewhere.
Start where you
Yeah.
are. That's pretty simple.
Start where
Seems
you are.
seems simple enough.
And just
And isn't that inventory and mindfulness that we've been talking about? Like,
mhm,
I mean, the art
being
of
present.
knowing where you are is, let's start there.
Yeah. Know where you are, right?
Slow
Know where
down
you are.
enough to ask yourself, what are you feeling and why, and what are you attached to, and what is it, right?
Yeah. And you have to be open enough, not only for change, but open enough to not be okay.
And maybe even open enough to find joy amongst the
Right.
sorrow.
Right. So you have to be in a state of receiving.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Any tips on how to get into a state of receiving?
I mean, you can say it over and over again because you are listening to yourself subconsciously, right? I'm open to receive love, joy, and gratitude, and friendship, and whatever it is you want to receive. You could
Hmm.
say that.
Yeah.
Um, you can follow, you could, you could follow what brings you joy because then you're allowing that to come to you. I mean, you have to start, right? Start small. You know where you are, start small, be in a place of open to receive, even if it's just a conversation, don't you think?
I think absolutely. The willingness to well, first of all, you have to be honest with yourself enough to say that you would like to maybe change a little, maybe shift,
Mhm.
maybe have a new experience or something, be able to set aside what you've experienced before and have a new experience.
There
I
you
think
go.
that's a great place to be.
So you're open to a new experience.
Yeah,
There you
imagine
go.
that. Instead
Yeah.
of like, I think we talked about this during Thanksgiving, right? Like the going to other people's houses for Thanksgiving and just like measuring up the dishes to like are they like my mom's and my sister's because my sister obviously inherited my mom's recipes in the book, right?
Right.
Like the sacred book. Uh because that is like heartwarming to me. Food has
Hmm.
been,
Comfort.
a comfort staple in our family's life.
Hmm.
Um so yeah,
You're open to a new experience.
new experiences. Yep.
Hmm. You're, you have to be present, even if it sucks a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then you can build from there. Like, okay, this is where I'm at, and I don't want to be here forever. So, what experiences do I want to draw to me that are better than this? That might be
That's
somewhere to start,
that is some deeper clarity of like, okay, this is how I feel. This is how I'm in the moment. This is where I'm at. And
right?
then being honest with yourself enough to know that you either okay with being there and just
Hmm.
be there until
Right?
you feel something shift or you get an intuitive thought or something, a little sparkle catches your eye, or maybe it's a commercial or whatever.
Hmm.
And then you're like, I don't think I want to be here.
Right?
I think I would like to start to maybe have a different experience.
Right. Which is interesting because this is the time of year, right? Where people feel this the most. They feel this
Yeah.
thing, right? And
Yeah.
what is fascinating to me is it's right before a new beginning starts. So this is actually the opportunity to set it all straight. Like, be open. Start now. Start today. It
Yeah.
could be better by tomorrow. It may not be 100% better, but it could be better tomorrow, right? It could be better once you put up those lights and maybe decide to go buy a little tree, and then your daughter comes home and it's better, right? That is technically moving forward.
That's action. Yeah. So
Hmm.
for me, the way it works is I do the emotional work and then like in a 12-step program that I've been a part of for a long time, faith without works is dead, which means that, having faith without action is a dream. It's just you're just
Right. I get
so
it.
the action of doing the exercise with the light, and I knew it was going to be tedious. The hooks are too big, and I just don't have time to be returning them for smaller ones and all that. Like I wanted it up tonight. I want to see those lights tonight. When we're done recording this episode, I'm going to turn on my lights and I'm going to go look at them. And I'm gonna
Okay.
like that's happening. If you can't see
Okay.
me, if you can't hear the
There's a
joy and the
smile.
smile through the audio, and if you're on YouTube, you can see it. But yeah,
Right. So it's those little actions, right? So I
that
think
doesn't
it's
wash
important.
away everything else that's going on, but
No,
it
but you get
certainly,
enough of those and start stacking them up, you start feeling a little bit better,
yeah,
hopeful,
I definitely felt better after I was done hanging the lights, for sure,
right? So if
for
you're,
sure.
yeah, I think it's important to know where you are,
Yeah,
be willing to be present in that and decide, and, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. yeah, I might miss my family, um, but I don't want to be here anymore personally, like here in this like rut of,
Right.
sadness or grief or loneliness or whatever somebody is going through. Okay. So decide that you don't want to
Mhm.
be there anymore. Make make a list, take any action towards something better. You don't have to know the end result. You could just start going, and it might just show you the way. Just a
Well,
thought.
if you keep paying attention along the way, you'll figure some other things out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's, Christmas stuff. Take action. What's
It's
her
really the
name?
key to any of it, right? If you're, we're going to be, you're going to have a boatload of people that are going to be writing down and speaking out these actions, accomplishments, dreams, goals, aspirations for the new year. Um, we should talk about that next week.
New Year?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
because there's a
absolutely.
lot of new year, new you going on right now.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But it's all part of what we're talking about, which is, getting in touch with where you are, which is that
Hmm.
inventory that you mentioned a couple episodes ago, right? Which,
Hmm.
another part of those 12 steps, right?
Hmm.
Uh, which should show you where you're at. Like if you really kind of look at the three areas of your life, right? Body, mind, spirit. Um,
Hmm.
you can get in touch with. It was funny. I was just reading about Tesla's 369 manifestation the other day. Like I that's been swirling around for a while. And did you know that the nine is the three and the six equals nine? And
Yeah,
did
I'm
you?
big on numbers, but by the way.
Okay, me too. But for some reason, the 360 in my my business,
Hmm.
I never put the 369 together with, like, I didn't
Oh,
do it because of that. I did it because of full circle, that I don't
right.
just do one thing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
It was kind of one of those aha moments the other day when I was like,
Okay.
oh, huh,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, felt
Look at
good.
that.
Yeah,
Look at that.
mile marker,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
just a
big on
road
numbers
sign.
like that.
It's a
Yeah.
sign.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
It's a sign. There's lots of them if you're paying attention. There's lots of synchronicities and signs,
Would you say that
sign
that's
markers.
part of the bigger problem? Is it, I teeter between being like nice and being not confrontational or like it just feels like most people would rather just kind of keep their head in the sand and just kind of go along,
Get
don't make
get
waves.
along to go along or go along to get
Yeah.
along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I think that it depends? I seem to find a lot of people that like all that stuff, the
Well, you
synchronicities.
attract. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing the magnet model that's happening, sure. But not everybody that I know is on board with that, you know?
When I find people that are really confrontational about stuff in general, it kind of just, well, it tells me something. Like they got the blinders on. They need to
Yeah.
believe this in order for their life to
That's what I'm
work.
talking about. Yeah, and it wasn't
Yeah.
confrontational. Wasn't really it's the word that came out, but what I controversial is what I was thinking of, but the wrong word came out.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Controversial.
yeah.
What are we talking about now that it's
Just the
controversial?
thoughts of like some people. It's not. It
Oh, you
could be
mean like the numbers and the
no, no,
synchronicities?
no,
That's
no, no.
controversial?
Calling out the people that want to stay stuck because they're just happy in their in
Oh,
their way, and like yeah. I was just, I don't, the moment is gone, but it was more
I get what
about
you're saying.
calling people out, which can be considered aggressive, can be like, so I teeter between this, like the nice guy and the guy that tells the truth about what he sees and hears and feels.
Mm.
It's tricky, right? Because when you have suffered from bouts of anger and resentment for a big part of your life, I have to be super mindful about where I'm coming from with a thought or feeling, right?
Yes. I've never been accused of holding back.
Yeah, no,
So I, so
no, that would be accurate. Yeah,
I usually just speak my mind. Although I try to do it in a diplomatic way when I know somebody is confrontational. I try to. Um, doesn't always work, but I will just say it. And I'm not trying to be passive aggressive or confrontational or any of those things. I'm just saying it.
yeah.
Some people want things sugar coated. Go drink a soda,
Please don't. Even the diet ones,
especially the diet ones. Don't do
please.
that.
Ugh,
But if you want something that's that sugarly, that I'm just not that girl. I'm just not that person, and that's okay.
it
Um,
is. Yeah,
but I'm not aggressive. Like I want to argue with somebody. I just say my opinion.
yeah.
So sometimes it's misconstrued.
It's tricky
However,
when you feel like you've got some righteousness within you, right? Of like, no,
mhm,
you let me tell you the way it's supposed to be. Nobody likes that person. Like
no,
that's like how
no,
much longer before we can get away from this person?
yes, yes, yes. But sometimes you just have to say things, right? Like we have all been in those positions where you just got to say it.
But
That's just
there's a nicer
there's a nice
way than
way.
being brash about it, right? Because
I didn't say brash. I just said say
I know
it.
you didn't say it. I'm inferring that there's some brashness that can happen, especially when the emotions boil up and
Absolutely.
over, right? It's like
Hmm.
that pot of soup that you got on the stove and you get distracted in the living room and then the next thing you know it's spilled all over your range. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
that people all the time, every day, all the time.
Sometimes, yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I run into them all
Especially
the
this
time.
time of the year because the
Yes.
senses are heightened.
Well, they're an overload. They
There's
are
that word.
absolutely an
Yeah.
overload. Um, and they're just running in this days of let me consume and live up to and have this and do that and I should do this and I should do that and
Yeah, if I only had that, I'd be happy. Oof. Oof. Yeah.
yeah, those things take time to learn.
Yeah.
I don't think you learn those things until you experience enough loss, though. Loss has a purpose.
Talk about that.
I don't think you really learn to be grateful until you lose a lot of things, a lot of people, not things. When you lose a lot of people, that's when you become truly grateful for other people's presence.
Hmm. I'm excited to we have two outings we're doing
I
together for
know
the
we
holiday.
do.
I'm
I
totally
know.
excited about that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. New Year's Eve, we're going to go and
You
see
want to throw a plug in for your son?
for Conejo Valley. They're doing, let me get the right words first.
No
Let me
problem.
get the right name of it.
Yeah.
But yes.
So Drew
So,
Orlando is her son's name, and he is an actor and just
yes.
a amazing guy and an incredible dancer. Watch out.
He's pretty cool at it. He's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I should know these things, but I don't off the top of my head. Um,
So the first outing is New Year's, correct?
it
Right?
is New Year's.
New
It
Year's
is a
Eve.
masquerade. Um, it's called a promotion to kill. It's a New Year's Eve mystery.
It's like a
Um,
murder mystery. Isn't that what you told me?
it is a yes, it's a murder
Kinda.
mystery. It's a masquerade party, but
Okay.
there's a murder mystery going on. And in this wonderful theater at Conejo Valley, they have three
That's my
different,
hood.
I know, three different places in the theater where you can see the scenes. You will see all of them, but they're moving. And it's, yeah, so one's in the orchestra, one's back here, one's over there. It's quite the event. So it's a promotion to kill is the name of it, a New Year's Eve murder mystery.
Cool.
And it's most of it is improv based. So, and then, you know, you never know who the killer is. So it'll be good. It'll be fun.
They'll solve the mystery at some point, right? Or are we going home
Yes.
empty-handed?
No. And
Okay.
everybody that goes is part of all the guests are actually participants in a very
Accomplices.
minor way. You'll see. You'll see. I don't know all those
All right.
details,
No,
but
I'm okay with
yeah.
not knowing because then it can just happen
Yeah.
organically in the moments. Yeah.
But tickets are still on sale, so feel
Cool.
free. Conejo Valley.
All right. What's the
Um,
second one?
Hotbed Hotel is the
Ooh,
name
what?
of the Hotbed Hotel.
Hotbed.
Hotbed Hotel is the name of the play that they're doing.
Okay.
And Conejo Valley tickets are on sale. Um, Opening night is January 10th. So that's going to be fabulous. And it runs until February 10th,
Nice.
um, which is a comedic farce. Um, you'll
Like a
enjoy
good
it.
farce.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. And
So
he's very proud of
is
it.
he he's not running lines at home or anything, right? He's going to rehearsal all the time and
I always run lines with him. I've been doing it
aw,
since he was 10. Yeah.
aw,
Yeah. So, but you know, he is in rehearsal 6 days a week for that one because it is quite
wow.
demanding.
Cool.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be good.
We're
And
getting
he's super
out.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
See? So
Yeah.
there.
And I can't
Um,
believe you went to the Magic Castle without me. I'm just
I'm sorry.
so heartbroken over that.
I do.
Just because
I'll get tickets
again,
again. We'll go.
that's tied back to Christmas.
Yeah.
I was fascinated with magic, and one of my big presents that year was like a magic kit. And
And have
this
you
is
been to the Magic Castle?
no,
Okay. All right.
yeah,
See
no.
what I can do.
We have a mutual friend, Nader, who is
Hmm.
a mentalist who performs there, and he's invited me to come join him, and it just hasn't worked out. And now he doesn't
Hmm.
live in California anymore, so he's like, I think
Okay.
he's in Texas. I think he
Okay.
still comes back. So
All
somebody
right.
had posted about being there recently within the last 3 months or so, and I was like,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, next time.
because I fell in love with
No idea.
Houdini back in the day, and
Hmm.
so got the magic kit for Christmas, and I started putting on shows
Hmm. Okay.
for the friends and family. Yeah,
For the friends and family. All
yeah,
right. I get it.
yep,
I get it.
yep,
Yeah. Um, so next time I get tickets, we'll go. But yeah, it'll be fun.
yeah.
It'll be fun.
We'll get out.
Yeah. Yeah. New Year's Eve, you get to go somewhere.
I can't believe I said yes to that because it's like my least favorite holiday to leave my house and
Wow.
drive anywhere.
Well, you're not really driving that far.
No, I'm lucky. I will not be. You're not
Right.
driving that far either, and it's mostly
Right.
freeway, so
Yeah.
you're pretty safe. But it's amateur hour. It's amateur
Yes,
night.
I know.
People that
I
usually
know.
don't get tipsy,
Yeah, I
and
don't typically go out and drive that night. But this is something to do and it'll be fun. It'll be a
I'm
good time.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
He's very excited. Um, but yeah, so um yeah, yeah. But you're going and it'll be fun.
Yes, it will. I know it will.
I think you'll actually enjoy it.
I feel like it's going to be a smaller version of like, going to one of the Masked Singer episode taping. I don't know why. I just have this like party atmosphere kind of vibe.
Um, yeah, because it's moving. You're not sitting in the seat. If you sit in the seat, you will see the whole thing. but you can move throughout the theater, and there's only, you know, there's things I can't say, but there's so there's you get to see it in different ways, in different settings.
Okay.
It's fun. It's fun.
I don't need more information. I
Okay,
less is more. It we'll figure it out when we're there, and we'll just
it'll
go
be
with
good.
the flow. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So Conejo Valley.
got it.
Conejo
All right.
Valley Players is actually, you can find them on Instagram. So, um,
Conejo Valley Players. There it is. Okay.
yeah.
Just in case you didn't hear.
Conejo Valley.
There you go.
hmm
All right, Drew.
Yeah,
We're coming for
yeah.
you.
There you go, Drew.
Like literally
Uh,
coming for you.
right there. Yes,
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Cool.
Yeah, he's very proud. Um, so daughter's coming home. Your daughter's coming home, and that's exciting.
That
So you're gonna
is.
go put
And
on
my
your
other
lights.
daughter leaves with her partner, her boyfriend, Zane,
hmm
and she are going to Japan tomorrow.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, it's her second time being to
hmm
Japan. So, and they're
hmm
going to Tokyo. So, last time she
Wonderful.
went, she stayed on a working farm. So she
hmm
paid for her, food and housing by working the farm, which she had an
hmm
incredible experience. They're so they're so much they're so much more worldly than their dad as far as their travel. I mean, it's just
That's
great.
wonderful,
Like
though.
they're there until the 7th. They don't return back from Japan until the 7th. Like that's a good chunk of time.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So,
That's wonderful.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
hmm
My daughters
So
have passports that are pretty full of stamps, which
that's
is,
wonderful.
something our generation, was talked about, you graduate high school and then you backpack through Europe. And, I just
Mm,
I didn't have it like that. I started working and it
you get
just
it.
wasn't,
Good
I
for
don't
that
know.
generation for
Yeah,
doing it.
different generation. I'm
hmm
really grateful that they both have the Explorer. I'd like to think that I have a little bit of influence on, everything, all the time that I spent with them. I tried to create adventures for us to do together,
hmm
so that they could
hmm
stack these memories of being adventurous and going places and trying things and yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's good. They're worldly. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful thing to do.
And I get it
hmm
after going to Finland and then, Kauai is part of the United States, but it didn't feel like it.
hmm
It's like
Yeah,
5.5
that's a
hour
weird
flight.
one. Cool. Yeah, Kauai is one of those where it's kind of like, yes, it is, but no, it's not, because it has such a culture to it.
It's so different.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, so what's the best advice?
To get through the holidays,
hmm
do no harm.
Do you know harm?
Yeah, I mean, some things what's that old saying that we grew up with? Like if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't need to say it. Like
Say
unless
anything at all?
somebody is like offending you and you should defend yourself, but um I think the easiest thing to do is to just kind of check in with yourself and see how you're really feeling without somebody else's influence around you and just kind of be like, allow those feelings to process, and if you need to sit with them, to sit with them, um, and then be willing to have a new experience, maybe. That would be
hmm
Yeah, that would be probably the most valuable advice is to set aside what you think about the holidays, your family, how you show up, who you are, so that you can have a new experience with the holidays and who you are and how you show up and what you do, you know,
hmm
and honor your truth. If your truth is you don't feel like it, then don't. I mean, you've talked about this before. It's okay to say no. And you can say no,
Yes.
thank you. You don't have to be mean about it, right? Like, fuck no, oops, there it is. Can't check that little explicit button on the podcast today.
All right. It's
Won't, there
okay.
it is.
It's fine. It's fine. Um, just, I think if you know that you don't want to be that way anymore, or you've taken that inventory, I think that the next step is being open to change, being open to just one little thing different and just start building the momentum of it and being okay where you
Yeah.
are. It's okay. It's
You
okay.
can take just one small step. You just don't know what's on the other side of that step,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's those small little things that really matter when things are tough.
Mm.
When things are tough, it's the smallest things that really register.
And action.
I do.
It's the biggest
That's what I'm
part of
saying.
it. Like move your body, move your mind, change your mind kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're I set a timer. You're only going to allow yourself to be down for so long. It's an idea.
Sure. Why
I'm
not?
only I'm only going to be sad for an hour to honor whatever you're sad about. And then when that hour is up, maybe you just at that point go, okay, I'm going to do one thing different today. And
Yeah.
that's all you got to do.
Start with one.
Yeah. Let's keep it
Sounds
simple.
simple, but not easy.
You have to want you have to want it.
Now, what about working with a hypnotherapist? Could that help with all this?
Well, of course. Don't you think so?
Well, but we're not talking about it. Like we're on this
Yeah, no,
channel
no.
talk,
Well,
you
I
know.
am saying like these are right. So you need to get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to focus on the positive.
Hmm.
I'm willing to take the action. And maybe that is go work with a hypnotherapist where you can change some of those known associations from sadness to gratefulness.
That's part of the, in my opinion, right? The inventory that you've mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I just love that you said that like 3 episodes ago. I'm like, that's so cool. Um, like getting in touch with what's going on for you. You have to know where you are before you can go or if you even want to go anywhere else. Like maybe
Right.
you're okay with just being sad, and that's
Maybe
okay.
you are for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
It's
you're not
the
going to stay there
overconsumption
forever.
of it and the feeding of it, right? Especially in this kind of new world where we have built a little cocoon of our life at home. Like God forbid you work from home and live at home like I do. It's very easy to isolate and just kind of be in it, right? And not
Hmm.
take action. And action is the only thing that I found that moves the energy, the shift, the can bring me to a state of maybe gratitude, maybe there's a lot of mind stuff as well, right? There's a lot of, but that's where the hypnosis can help, right? With helping people kind of reframe and kind of rearrange the way that they think and feel about certain things and do go through some healing.
Yes, because no matter what happens on the outside, if you are not okay on the inside,
Yeah.
it's not going to change it.
Which is a big part of this whole Christmas gift giving thing
Right.
is, the shiny, like, yeah,
You can have all those gifts. That's not going to change what's on the inside,
yeah,
and if you want to change what's on the inside, I mean, even if you do change the external world, you could still feel sad and uncomfortable and miserable and all these, other things. That's when like at this point, you have to look inward and change that in order to be in that state of joy or gratitude or happiness, whichever one.
yeah,
Um, and you have to be open to finding positive new patterns, not negative patterns. You have to be
yeah,
open for positive patterns. And you can change those subconsciously.
yeah. And then you said gratitude again. I know you said it a couple times, but like that feels like it's also one of the most important things that I will do is find that which to be grateful that I have and be open to receiving more. It's one of my
Hmm.
mantras, right? I
Hmm.
am grateful for
Hmm.
what I have. I have so much. And if
Hmm.
you really think about it, we all do, right? Um, it's
We do.
it's the longing for the attachment to if well, I really wanted this, but I got that, or like that whole mindset of something outside of you that's going to make you feel better or differently,
That's
which is
right.
fleeting at best.
That's why I said you can change the external, but that is eventually not going to that's not going to change the internal. And
No.
eventually you will see that.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting in that place, that's when you are now kind of open to change. You kind of realize like, okay, that didn't work. Great. Now what?
Yeah.
Now you have to, go get a hypnotherapist, really take inventory of the things that are good, bad, indifferent in your life, positive, negatives, a little bit of acceptance of where you actually are. And then you have to be open to change,
I mean,
open and
there's the
willing.
formula right there.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thanks.
I mean, there's really nothing else to say after that other than like, hey, if you want to get in touch with us, we
Yeah.
all have our contact information in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to Tina's website. It's tinaorlandohypnosis.com, or mine
Mm-hmm.
is 360, the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
hypnotherapy.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't mention this in the beginning, but if you're still here, please like, follow, and subscribe, and feel free
Mm-hmm.
to share the link with anybody
Mm-hmm.
that might be feeling
Yeah.
it. And then also, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions or requests, please feel free. We love them. So
We love it. We're down for it.
happy holidays. Merry
Okay.
Christmas.
Happy
Oh,
holidays.
last
Yeah.
episode before we are going to do an episode that's for the new year, new you.
Uh-huh.
I think that's what we're calling it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
All
isn't,
right.
that'll be the last one
That'll
for
be the last one for
2024.
the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
stay
then,
tuned
yep.
and thank you,
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
Love you. Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Happy holidays.